Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to talk about the Ballad of Never After. It is the second book of Stephanie Garber's series. The first book was Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I absolutely love that book. It takes place in the same universe as the Caraval series, and if you're not familiar with that, I would highly suggest you guys read the Caraval series first and then going into this series. So I made a mistake of, well, not really a mistake. I initially read Once Upon a Broken Heart first before diving into the Caraval series, and to be honest, there was some spoilers, but there are bits where I've enjoyed learning more about some characters in the Caraval series, but that's just my take. Okay, so let's discuss the second book. So I initially thought that this was just gonna be a duology. It's safe to mention in this video because the author has already mentioned it in her Instagram post that there is going to be a third book. I don't know if it's gonna end on the third book or it's gonna be 4 books, but this book's not the end of the series. First, let's just review the book. Just look how beautiful that book is. It was mentioned in the first book that Evangeline, our main girl, is the key to the Valerie Arch. So let's look at this cover, and you can see that it is kind of the Valerie Arch. I think, like, for me, my perception is this is the arch. It's a beautiful cover. Like, even the dust jacket is beautiful, but if you want to see the inside, I don't know if this was an exclusive or anything, but I got this from, I think, Book Depository. And look at that cover. That's the hardback, and it's just beautiful. There's nothing at the back, but that's just all the gold. Sorry about my lighting, it's really gloomy outside. It's actually just 1 p.m. right now, but like, it's just horrible weather for the whole week, so I can't really control the lighting, and I don't have any artificial lights here. I film natural light. So let's talk about what happens in this book. We pick up where we left off from the first book, where Evangeline, our main girl, finds out that her husband wasn't actually dead, but in this animated state. Like, he is in a coma or in like some sort of, he's not really dead, he's asleep, but he looks dead. It's somehow he has a curse on him. And funny enough, in this story, there are a lot of curses that happens. So Evangeline finds out that Apollo's alive, technically. The reason why she assumes immediately that the reason why he's in a curse is because Jax put a curse on him. Jax wants to use Apollo as leverage to then make Evangeline open the Ark. There is this thing in the first book called the Valerie Ark, or Arch. The Valerie Arch, sorry. It's somehow in the north. Like, there's a curse in the north. I mean, I'll mention a lot of curses here, so I do apologize, but there's a curse in the north where people can't physically mention things about the past, or can't, like, if you open a book, it gets jumbled up. Every time you open a book, it changes, and there's if you say like a Ballad of Never After in the front, you open it and there's a whole different story, something like that. And it's quite interesting magic system. Quite a nice touch to it, actually. I'm really impressed by Stephanie Garber's writing. She writes really beautifully. She catches my imagination. Like, there's never been a book where I really wanted to be part of. Like it's been a while since, like, the last book I think was Howl's Moving Castle, where I wish I was part of the book. Like, I wish I was in that world. This would be that world that I really wanted. Like, just take me there, please. Everybody's wearing ball gowns, everybody's having amazing food parties. Like, yes, please take me there. In the beginning of the book, you can see that Evangeline writes herself like a little letter. She folds it and tucks it in somewhere in her room, right? And I think that's gonna be very important for the third book. Like literally, like, just, I'm saying it now, that's gonna be so important on the third book, especially with what happens in the end. Let's talk about Apollo's curses. So he has so many curses on him. I wonder how this dude's still alive. He gets put into like a coma-like state. Well, first of all, he falls in love. Like, he gets this curse of falling in love, madly in love with our main girl, Evangeline. And then the second curse it gets put on him is the curse where he is in this kind of coma-like state. And then the third curse gets the curse of the Ballad and the Archer. And this This guy, like, I just feel like his character is such a pawn to move the plot along that I really don't have any feelings for him from the beginning. Like, I feel like, he's fake in love with Evangeline, and now he's fake death, and now he's fake acting like he's the archer from the Ballad of the Archer and the Fox. And I honestly feel like I don't see the chemistry between Evangeline and Apollo from the beginning. I didn't really connect with their love story. I found it cute, the way he proposed to her. But still, like, I just feel like Evangeline has more chemistry with Jax rather than Apollo. I'm talking about this, like, you know, I'm not aware of what happens in the end. That's Apollo. Now, Jax. And he is such an interesting character. I do not know why. So the reason why I read Caraval series immediately after finishing this book is because I wanted to understand how Jax's character, has he changed throughout like the series? Like, was he different from the Caraval series, or was he the same? And I could definitely say he's still the same. He's still the same Jax from the Caraval series compared to the Jax that is in Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I gotta say that he's more jealous in this book. I don't understand why he was more, like, he was very jealous in this book than he was in Once Upon a Broken Heart. I do not know why. And it doesn't need, like, I don't associate jealousy with actually having feelings for someone. You can be possessive, like, hence why Evangeline has that thought that he's only jealous because after reading the Caraval series, like, fates don't fall in love, they become possessive of something, like they want something but they're not really in love. I can say that he was acting a lot weird in this series. I mean, in this book. Turns out, we find out in this book that he's not actually wanting the Valerie Arch to actually open. He just wants the stones, because once you get the stones together, somehow you get one wish granted. And the thing is, though, I'm not quite sure what he really wants. He mentions to Evangeline that he wants to go back to Donatella to try their romance once again, which is a bit kind of understandable because he wants to probably feel again. But we all know what Jax wished for in the end, which, does that make him have a heart and actually care for Evangeline? So we'll find out on the third book, but that's Jax. Let's talk about Evangeline. Evangeline, I feel like, had a lot of growth in a way. Like, there's so much pining in this book. Well, it's YA, fair enough. But Evangeline, I feel like, has a little bit more agency. Like, they were in this, what was that? This perfect place where, like, I would stay there forever, to be honest. It was, they were in Marywood, in the Inn for Travelers and Adventures, where they found, I think, one of the stones that kind of keeps the magic in the inn, where food just appears at the exact same time, and then everything was just perfect. But when you're in that inn, time stops, and I feel like Evangeline kind of having to put her foot down and saying, no, we're not gonna stay here, because I feel like this is the stone that's doing it. Jax was kind of completely enamored with Evangeline, showing more feeling, showing more love to Evangeline, or love-like actions. That, like, if I were Evangeline, I would have just stayed there. I would have been happy, I would have been contented with what I've had, but she put her foot down and said, no, you're just doing this because of the stones. The stones are influencing you. Let's get out of here. That moment where she took the stone and put it in an iron jar is when, like, just you felt for Jax. I felt for Jax at that time, because Jax wanted to stay there. He was aware probably that the stone was there and that he was being influenced, but he wanted to be there with Evangeline, and Evangeline chose to, you know what, no, this is wrong, puts it in. If I was Jax, I would be so heartbroken that this woman didn't want to be happy with me, kind of thing. Like, it's sad, it's heartbreaking for me. After that, immediately Jax becomes cold, like just cold with Evangeline, and I can't blame him. I honestly can't blame him. Before we get into the big twist and plots, let's talk about some of the side characters. So I love the fact that Luke was there, and somehow miraculously Luke becomes the heir to the throne. I don't know how. Somehow he managed to lie about it and became the heir to the throne. But I love the fact that he almost had his vengeance though. So in the first book, Luke was Evangeline's first love, and there was a bit there where like Evangeline finds out what her sister was her name Marisol or something? Give me 2 seconds, let me Google that. So Marisol is Evangeline's stepsister. And then if you're not aware, like I'm pretty sure you guys, if anyone's watching this until now, you're aware of what Marisol did. We all hate her, everybody's aware. And then I honestly wish that Luke kind of got his vengeance in a way. The fact that he requested Marisol to meet him at like this, I don't know what room was it, but I'm pretty sure that Luke would have just kind of tried to scare the shit out of Marisol. Maybe he wanted to feed on her, maybe because of course he's a vampire, or maybe he just wanted to kind of, look what you made me now, look what you've left. Look what you, like, I've gone through the ends of the earth to try to find a cure after that wolf attack. And then I am now a vampire because I tried to impress you. You know, like, it's just, I wish they had their closure. I honestly wish that, like, Marisol got what she deserved. You know, like, but the fact that like Evangeline here goes like, you know, I don't want my sister to actually get mauled by a vampire, or oh, I don't want my sister to get scared to death, warns her, and then somehow Jax kind of influences her, and then Marisol runs away. I honestly feel like Luke deserved that closure. Luke deserved that closure. I honestly feel that it was stolen from him, and I want that to be in book 3, please. Stephanie, make that happen. Luke becomes really cute in this book. Like, I swear to God, like every time he would talk to Evangeline, of course he has this like vampire thirst, but then he's this preppy, not preppy, but like perky little dude that like kind of makes me kind of understand why Evangeline fell in love with him in the first place. Like, oh, okay, Luke's a bit cute, and I understand completely why, you know, someone would like him. Because he's cute. His dialogues and conversations with Evangeline is just adorable. Now, let's talk about Chaos. Chaos, we find out, is actually Castor Valor, one of the Valors. Well, initially we thought that there's a monster that's being kept inside the Valerie Arch. Turns out it's the Valerie family, like the Valor family that's actually in the Arch, and then the Castor, who is the monster, is outside the Arch. He's a bit of an interesting character. Like, I do not know his agenda from the beginning, and then slowly, like, this was all about him at the end. Like, I thought he was just a side character, and now he's like an important character that was part of history. But you know what, fair enough. Let's give Chaos a bit of a break. He had that mask on his head for centuries, so you know what, okay, cool, except what he did in the end. So I'm not happy with that. Who here has been emotionally scarred by that ending? Me. I swear to God, the fact that she died by the hands of Chaos, like, I did not expect that to happen. I did not expect that book wanted to end like that. But Stephanie, I have to give you praise on how you managed to kind of changed it in a way. Like, you did at the end, like when there was like a couple of pages, like a good chunk of chapter left, and then we went back and then it repeated itself. Kudos to you, Stephanie. That was really good. The second ending, the actual official ending of this book, I'm not too happy about. So Apollo, who the hell are you then? How come you freaking brainwashed her? How come you erased her memories? So Apollo erased Evangeline's memories, and now I'm pretty sure that remember the letter I mentioned at the beginning of the book? I'm pretty sure that that's gonna come back, and Evangeline will find it and go, okay, so I can't trust Jax. Whoever this Jax is, I can't trust him. You know what? If the third book is just gonna be about Jax trying to make sure, like trying to make Evangeline remember him, I'm not gonna be mad about it. I would love to see that, to be honest. Like, their relationship's quite cute. So yeah, let's talk about theories. So remember, on the first book, we all know that Jax has those like broken heart tattoos. Well, no, Evangeline has broken heart tattoos which means she still owes Jax something. We still have one of those on Evangeline. So she'll be like, she'll wake up, not remember a thing, but sees the tattoo and goes, what the hell's that? Why is it a broken heart? And why is it that every time this dude named Jax comes near her, it burns? So that's gonna be something. We know the letter, and then we know that there are still other Valerie, I keep saying Mallory, Valor children that we don't know of. That where are they? So we all know that there are other Valor children. So I remember, if I remember correctly, when Evangeline managed to open the arch, there was the king, the queen, and the daughter that was there. So we have Wulfric Valor, Honora Valor, and was it Aurora Valor that was there in the arch. And then of course we have Castor, who is Chaos. There's still Vesper Valor, Tempest Valor, Romulus Valor, and Lysander and Dane Valor. So who are these dudes? What do they do? What are their special powers? We're still to find out, like, could Apollo be actually one of the Valors? But then again, Jax used to be friends with all the Valors. So if Apollo was a Valor, he would have recognized him, unless maybe Apollo's the shape-shifting Valor, because I think one of them shape-shifts it or something. Again, like, we're not sure, and I love the fact that Stephanie has made this world. It's so interesting, and I cannot wait to find out. That's my review so far. Sorry if it's messy. I read this book like 2 weeks ago, so I'm just trying to kind of remember at the top of my head. Thank you so much for sticking to this channel. The reason why I was like adamant to make a video today, because I'm recovering from a flu. Today's the only day that actually I have a free time to actually film and edit this video. One of the first videos I posted on my channel was the review of Once Upon a Broken Heart, and it's doing great. And then, of course, I have to make one for this book, of course, because, you know, I love the book and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've cried a couple of times with this book, and yeah, I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much. If you made it this far into the video and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, like this video, and share if you want to. Leave a comment on what you think about the book, what your theories are. Please tell me what your theories are. And I'll see you again next time. Thank you so much. Bye.